Welcome back, everyone. LanceScurv here. I guess I'm on a roll right now on speaking about how the powers that be and their puppets are trying their best to keep melanated people globally separated. Seriously, this is an issue. We need to talk about it. Remember, this is not about hating any faction of my people globally. I just have to point certain things out. Many people act like there's not an attack on our unity, but there is, and always have been. Bottom line, there are compromised people. There are people who will take money or status to go against their own. And you know what? That's always going to be. But I don't understand it. Many who don't see the unity between the motherland, Africa, Al-Kebulan, and the globe, and how we are the original people who have been all over the globe. I don't understand how we can't grasp this. Who taught us history? Your oppressor? How are we learning more and more on social media, which is a double-edged sword that changes the algorithms to go and promote things that keep us separate? You have to be very shrewd. You know, you can have a dish of food put in front of you, your favorite dish, yet it can have poison in it to kill you. So when going through social media, understand that the enemy loves to get us emotional, and he knows when we get emotional, we don't see reality for what it is. There are people who they back up on social media to put out information, who have probably done some good things, but now their agenda has changed and it's all about separation. Why are we to be separated while everybody else is becoming unified more and more? They take our style, they take our swag, they take our rhythm, they take our talent and ability and strength for their benefit, but they don't want us to benefit from our own divine qualities. I've been seeing this all my life, and I can't understand why many of us don't see it. Us being separated is no good. Anybody who comes to your family circle and wants to separate you, the mother from the father from the daughter, the mother from the son, siblings against each other, is that a good message? Is that a good person? They come with smiles, they come with gifts, but they're trying to break up your family. This is what's happening to us globally. And because social media has been with us for 20 plus years strong, they have a direct connection to our subconscious mind by the things that they put out, and I don't like it. You have to have a strong filter in your mind to be able to discern what it is that they're putting in your mind as poison against each other. The agents are working overtime to cause Black Americans to hate Africa. It's the truth. For generations, Black people in America have been taught to look at Africa through a broken and distorted lens. From school books to TV commercials showing starving children, Africa has been painted as a place of poverty and struggle, not greatness and wealth. Many of us grew up believing that Africa had nothing to offer, that only slaves came from there, and that our story began on American soil. But in reality, the opposite is true. Africa is the birthplace of civilization, the source of massive natural wealth, and the home of our deepest roots. Now, in the digital age, there's a new form of propaganda happening, not on paper, not on the evening news, but through social media algorithms. Whenever you scroll through platforms like YouTube, X, which is formerly Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok, and beyond, there's an invisible force deciding what you see. And too often, it seems those systems push videos, memes, and posts that fueled division between Black Americans and Africans. The question is why? Why would anyone want to keep us divided when unity could empower us all? I'm going to give you 10 major reasons why anti-African propaganda is being promoted so hard online, and why the powers that be fear our global unity. Number 1, Memorandum 46 and fear of global Black unity. In 1978, a secret U.S. government document called National Security Council Memorandum 46 was written, discussing how the government should manage relationships between African nations and Black Americans. It warned about the potential danger of unity between Africans and African Americans. The memo suggested ways to prevent cooperation, fearing that a strong global Black alliance would challenge Western control over African resources and global influence. That fear is still alive today, very much so. Only now it's spread through algorithms instead of policy papers. Number 2, dividing to conquer has always worked. From slavery to colonialism, those in power have always known that dividing people of the same heritage keeps them weak. During slavery, lighter and darker skin tones were used to create jealousy and separation. During colonialism, Africans were divided by tribes and language. Today, social media continues that same strategy, dividing Black people by nationality, culture, and history. Number 3, controlling the narrative through education. For decades, American schools taught that Africa was nothing more than a jungle filled with poverty and war. Children grew up seeing Africa as something to escape, not something to be proud of. That conditioning didn't stop in the classroom. It carried into adulthood and now lives online, shaping how Black Americans think about their roots. Number 4, media imagery that destroys pride. Those heartbreaking charity commercials showing starving African children are not meant to help. They're meant to program pity instead of pride. When that's all we see, we subconsciously disconnect from Africa. Meanwhile, no one shows the thriving cities, the modern industries, or the brilliant minds on the continent. That's not by accident, it's by design. Number 5, social media algorithms reward conflict. Social media companies are not built for truth. They're built for engagement. We have to understand this. The more emotional a post makes people, the more clicks it gets. So when users argue over who's really Black or whether Africans sold us into slavery, those heated debates go viral. The platforms make money while our unity burns. Number 6, the fear of economic independence. Africa has what the world wants and needs: gold, oil, diamonds, cocoa, lithium, and so much more. Black Americans have what Africa needs: experience in global markets, technology, and media power. If those two forces ever united, we could build a self-sustaining global economy independent of Western corporations. That's exactly what the world's elite fear most. Number 7, keeping the slave mindset alive. A slave doesn't have to be in chains to be controlled. As long as the mind is captured, freedom is an illusion. Propaganda keeps Black Americans disconnected from their African brothers and sisters, reinforcing the false idea that we are different. This keeps us emotionally and mentally enslaved, separated by invisible borders drawn by those who profit from our division. Number 8, the threat of political power. Imagine if Africans across the world from America to Ghana to South Africa and beyond, voted, invested, and organized as one global bloc, we would control economies, influence policies, and demand justice worldwide. That's why division is constantly pushed. Unity would change everything. Number 9, psychological programming through media. Every generation has been fed images of Africans as less than, while glorifying European standards of beauty, success, and civilization. When people grow up with that media conditioning, they begin to believe it's true. Algorithms now amplify that same mental programming on a global scale, recycling old lies through new technology. Number 10, the awakening has already begun. Despite the propaganda, many Black Americans are traveling to Africa, investing and reconnecting with the continent. Social media can't stop that truth forever. Every time someone sees Africa's beauty firsthand or learns the real history that was hidden, the system loses power. That's why the propaganda has gotten louder, because awakening is spreading faster. Our unity is their fear. The constant flood of anti-African content on social media is not random, it's strategic. Those who control the flow of information understand that if Black people across the world unite, their systems of exploitation will crumble. That's why they pump out division, self-hate, and confusion. But it's time to look past the manipulation and see the truth for what it is. Africa is not a poor continent. It's a rich land that has been robbed. Black Americans are not disconnected from Africa. We are her children. When we reconnect, rebuild, and re-educate ourselves, no algorithm or propaganda can stop what's coming. Our unity is the most powerful threat to oppression and the greatest promise for our freedom. Leave your comments. It's always a pleasure to be here. We're always going to put in the work. I love you all. LanceScurv out. Peace.